Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for more Kubera with episode 423. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. First, if you like, I'm selling the Kubera YouTube stuff, and with that out of the way, let's jump right into it.
Taraka, your mother, was the one who covered the water channel ceiling that day, but she's no longer around. I guess others beside her can also do this.
Very much does look like it, though, doesn't it? And, you know, given that the current king of the Tarakas is, Manaka's daughter, you know, just saying.
But I don't feel the effect of the eye. Yuta, is that because of you? Haven't heard him say a word, even though I can hear the Sura language just fine. I guess you just don't want me in this fight. That's fine by me. I can take care of those on my own. If you're trying to test my strength, waiting to see what I've gained by becoming this pathetic thing, then I'll show you. Did she just block it? And that's... What? What's happening? Why are those bastards here?
What do you mean? I feel like I've not quite grasped what's happened. Season 3, episode 423, finale 25. Obviously, this, like, purple visual effect is... But who is she on about? And that's... Is she on about there? Because obviously that does look different to... Does it? Yeah, the eyes are definitely different. I assume they're done differently on purpose, because even here they're done like this, right? And to be fair, the hair also looks different, right? Oh. Who do we think this is? I can't tell, but again, that weird shadowy effect kind of... I'm pondering. We'll get back to that. Season 3, episode 423, finale 25.
Is that a fight outside? Are the Tarakas attacking Asha again? But I'm not done convincing Marit. I didn't even get to start the real talk yet. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Asha meant Marit by that god. Let me get her out of here. God Marit! Why don't we get out of here first? Then talk this over with the other gods. You staying here alone isn't going to solve anything. It will. In fact, that's why I'm here. I'm just a 4 Zen god, obviously not as capable as the 5 Zen. So, I used to think that there was hardly anything I could do. But thankfully, my attribute was what they needed the most. You mean the destruction attribute? What are you... Follow me if you want to find out more. Is it safe to follow her? More Taraka showing up won't really be an issue, but... No, let me stop her first. Can't be sure whether she's in her normal state. God, Marit, wait! I don't know where you're going, but first... What's this place? Was this place always a part of the Abyss?
It's very white, isn't it? Well, it's still got that, like, pink tinge.
Those figures peeking through the gaps. Are they... people? What's this? Why are people...
I shouldn't know about this. Stop Marut from talking. Don't listen to her. What? Wait, what? I'm sorry, what? So red text, right, is pretty much, I'd say, only associated with the end. I can't remember what it's officially called. I think it's called the end, but that's what I'm calling it. And now we've got red text here, almost like speaking in Lisa's head. What?
You can't look the other way. This is the truth about this world. The current universe should have faded long ago. But instead it's been prolonged by feeding off the race that was eradicated at the beginning of time. I'd love to free them from their agony, but there's no physical way of doing that. The little ones you saw earlier are just clones. Or illusions, more like. Their actual bodies are trapped here for the sole purpose of producing vigor that gets absorbed into nature. They've been put through this suffering since the beginning of time, for tens of billions of years. Some of them were Tarakafied, and some of them weren't. The souls of the old human race that couldn't even harbor vengeance as they perished. Those poor souls are still bound by nothing but goodwill. So the Tarakas are acting for their sake, to free their own kind from the suffering they won't walk away from. By free their own kind, you mean... getting rid of the very reason they're keeping themselves bound like this. Granting this universe that should have ended long ago the fate it was meant to follow.
Oh no.
No wonder she stayed safe in here until now. She was already Tarakafied? If you're thinking I've been Tarakafied, then you're wrong. This is just me borrowing someone's body with the destruction attribute. Do you know Reltara?
Of course she doesn't. We do, though.
I do not. I see. You'll end up forgetting that name anyway, so I guess there's no point in introducing myself. I manifested through the remains of Shiva during the Cataclysm, and again in M5 throughout the remains of Marut when her summoning ended. And this time, it's through that same Marut, but through her actual body, and not the remains of it. And she isn't even limited by a summoner. She's just a fourth Zen god regardless. Her power won't be strong enough to harm this universe. I have more help, of course. Those who fought you recently. The ones who wish for this universe to fall more than anyone else. The gods of the previous universe.
Okay, so that's what that purple was. It wasn't a shadow, it was these guys. It's an interesting visual for Yuta's power, isn't it? It's just a white flash. The Taraka behind them must have already fled. I had no idea the losers of the previous universe were working with the Taraka. Now I know. They should have been sworn enemies in the previous universe, but I guess destroying this universe is their common interest in this one. I thought you weren't gonna say a word. Did you change your mind? You kept learning more and more, leaning more and more toward Lise as you grew. So I assumed you'd completely turned your back on me. But I guess not. There's still the possibility of you joining my side. The possibility. There indeed was a possibility where I take your side and kill Lise. Where I try to protect you from her wielding the released sword. And end up developing more into a Garuda. That's a possibility. I regret with all my heart. You regret a possibility? What does that even mean? Regret is for something you've already done. I never want to go through that regret again. So please, grow stronger. And come kill me this time. Well, she's in a good opportunity to get stronger, isn't she? A very unfortunate position, mind you. But an opportunity nonetheless, eh? Right. Blog post time. Kogo's blog. Season 3, episode 430? No, 423, finale 25. I was 10 weeks in the future for a second there. Things I wish I didn't know. It seems the prevailing sentiment in the comments has become that the right outcome is for everything to just end in ruin, right here and now. Only for that sentiment to completely get overturned in the very next episode. Back again. This isn't the first time this topic has come up. The events surrounding the Cataclysm were covered in Season 3, Episode 248. While the incident of the year-end 5 appears in Season 3, Episode 251. The reason she is speaking in a way that Lise can hear her is simply because this is Marut's body. She grew stronger, but a stronger opponent emerged. Some people expressed disappointment, wondering if Asa shouldn't also get a chance to show off her formidable power and demonstrate her ability to effortlessly dominate weaker opponents. However, she has actually done exactly that in the past. She even held a significant advantage over the protagonist, Lise. But, you might ask, hasn't Lise grown much stronger since then? Of course, and rest assured, it certainly won't be the last we see of Asha's power either. It is as it is. I've had quite a few angry readers stop by, complaining, why on earth are you showing us things we don't want to know? You don't get to decide what you don't want to know. Fuck you, it's not your story. And accusing me of providing supply with no demand, or lacking a feel for the story. The characters' emotional arcs aren't meant to simply follow the reader's demands. Exactly. In fact, this particular emotional thread has been emphasized repeatedly ever since Season 2 began. I even wrote a separate post on my blog to appeal to you all, hoping you'd finally take notice, since you kept overlooking it so persistently. Lol. Laughing the pain away. Perhaps, because it didn't align with the version of Asha that you readers had envisioned, the storyline just didn't seem to be well received. On the contrary, demand ended up surging in the directions I had absolutely no intention of pursuing, leaving me cast in the role of an author who simply fails to understand her readers. No. Don't worry about that, Kurrigan. You just write the story you want to write. Don't let people pressure you into doing something else. Fuck them. Just outright. You are, without doubt, a better writer than any of those people complaining combined, right? If they want the story to go a different direction, they can write a fanfic. That was the whole reason for things like that back in the day, you know? You wanted to see an alternate ending? The author won't do it because that's not what they do. You do it. You write it. Test your own metal. Write your own stuff. Fuck them. They can piss off. They're not as competent writers as you. They wouldn't have been able to get to this point in the series to be able to have people complain at them that the story's not going the direction they wanted. Okay? Ignore them. They're absolute just not worth listening to. And I get the whole thing is you want to listen to them because they are actively paying to read the story, right? As opposed to someone like me who only reads it for free. But no. No. They aren't entitled to have the story go the way they want. You have a plan. You have a narrative you're trying to tell. Tell it. Other people's input doesn't matter. Sure, you can take some inspiration here and there if you want. But stuff like that, we're like,
this isn't the direction I wanted the story to go in. This doesn't meet my expectations.
Piss off. Just outright. And I get where that opinion of, oh, it doesn't suit the image of Asha they had. I get why Kurrigan's saying that, because I very much agree that there was this build-up of Asha being this absolute piece of shit scumbag. But for a very long time, that has really not been the case. Asha has had many moments and scenes where she's kind of been driven away from that. Not necessarily driven away from it, but has proven that she is significantly more than that. There is more driving her than just fucking over somebody else. Right? And even then, I'd argue that wasn't even her initial motivation anyway. But yeah, by the by, I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, sub, notification bell, usual you stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited for another video. Until then, bye now.